Several months later.
After I replaced the damper felts, I spent a little time adjusting the damper arms. With the old damper felts removed and the new vintage Vibe ones in place, some notes on the treble end would ring without being dampened at all after releasing the keys, and others on the bass end wouldn't play at all because the damper felts were continually in contact with the tines whether the key was being pressed or not. I got the damper arms bent roughly into the right position for each key, then started adjusting the voicing of the piano's tines and pickups. One thing I noticed right away is that some of the tone bars wouldn't adjust properly. The tone bar should have some up and down play in the back spring so it can be adjusted in relation to the pickups. Several of the tone bars seem to be frozen in place at the screws. When I pushed down on the tone bar, the back springs wouldn't compress or allow any movement. It appears that this piano previously had been disassembled with all of the tone bars and springs completely removed, but when it was reassembled, the person who did it didn't take care to put the springs back in the proper places. As far as I can tell, this Rhodes has 3 variations of springs. Heavy-duty springs, these are the yellow springs with an additional black spring wound together so they work as one. These are very stiff and appear to belong down at the bass end of the harp on the front side toward the keys. Medium-duty springs, these are the same as the yellow springs without the second black spring wound into them. And these would appear to belong on the back side of the bass tone bars and then the lower mid-range tone bars on the front side toward the keys. And finally, lighter duty springs. These springs are black and noticeably lighter than the other 2 types of springs. They appear to belong on the back sides of the tone bars toward the pickups, in the mid-range tone bars, and in all of the treble key positions front and back, with one exception that I'll describe in just a moment. They allow the tone bars to vibrate more freely than the other 2 types of springs. As I looked at the harp, I saw that the tone bars, which couldn't be adjusted very easily and didn't compress when pushed on, had the heavy-duty springs both front and back. I also saw that there were some heavy-duty springs higher up in some of the treble tone bars too. These were probably preventing the tone bar notes from ringing properly. So I started removing all of the heavy-duty springs and moved them down to the bass tone bars. I found the medium-duty springs and put them on the back side of the bass tone bars and on the front side of the tone bars in the mid-range notes. Then the lighter-duty springs filled in everything else. Now, the exception to the light-duty springs in all of the treble tone bar positions are for the very highest treble keys. You can see the highest 10 tone bars only have a single screw holding them in place. There's a rubber platform under the single screw. One of these tone bars does have a hole that's already drilled for a front screw, but there's no screw in there. Now, after moving all of the screws around to the appropriate spots, all of the tone bars will compress and can be adjusted in relation to the pickups at the back of the harp. This will help with the voicing of each note. Thanks for watching this video. I'll be putting out more videos on the Rhodes restoration project soon. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell to receive notifications when new videos are posted. See you next time.